So, here we have the top 25 Christmas movies of all time. I would say that I tried to do these unbiased, but that would be a lie because they're totally biased. So, just to let you guys know beforehand, you guys are probably going to be upset by a few of these, and because I know they're your favorite Christmas movies, but this is just my opinion, led by some slight facts, but mainly opinion. Speaking of, some of you might be upset, here we have number 25, A Nightmare Before Christmas. I know some of you guys love this, but as a kid, it always creeped me out. And I didn't really like the creepiness of it. And what little wasn't creepy to me didn't really make sense either. So that's why we have it here at number 25. This one will probably make some of you even angrier than the first. At number 24, we have It's a Wonderful Life. Now, I can sit down and watch an entire extended cut of Lord of the Rings, which is 4 hours long, and still not feel like that's extremely long. But this movie, even though it's only a little over 2 hours, feels longer than those. I don't know why. I guess it's kind of slow and old, but it feels like it takes forever. It's mainly for the old people, and the only thing I really remember about it is the line, "Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings." That's all you can remember about it. Other than that, it's just kind of an old Christmas movie that older people like. We are starting off real controversial here. At number 23, we have Die Hard. If this was just straight up movie rankings, this movie would be higher up on the list. But because it's not really a Christmas movie, we're putting it at number 23. Now, why is it above the other two Christmas movies? Because it's still more enjoyable than those, even though it is not really a Christmas movie. But I do love it. This is Bruce Willis when he was good, so can't go wrong with that. Number 23. Now, at number 22, we have Ernest Saves Christmas. Ernest is hilarious in this movie. Santa's great. I mean, you're breaking him out of jail. He punches people in the face. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. It would be higher up, but I didn't end up watching this until I was older, actually. If I'd have seen it when I was young, it would have been higher up on the list. For number 21, we have Christmas with the Cranks. Now, I didn't watch this one too much as a kid either, so that docks it some points. But Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis, can't go wrong with them. And trying to destroy Christmas, then having to reset it. Good movie concept and funny. Now at number 20, we have Santa Claus 3. This one's probably worthy of being higher because it has Mrs. Claus's parents who are hilarious. Some of the same good things of the first two. But that's also the thing. It is the third one, so some of the things were getting a little old. And for some reason on TV during the 25 Days of Christmas, when I was younger, they played this movie every single day, nonstop. It was always on TV at one of the channels. You could always find this one. Not the first two, ever. It was just this one was always on. I don't know why, but this one was the one that was always on, and so it got old and annoying to me. So that's why it gets number 20. Breaking into the teens, we have number 19, Deck the Halls. You can't go wrong with Danny DeVito, especially when you put him in the never-failing format of neighbors competing against each other and setting up Christmas decorations. At number 18, we have The Little Drummer Boy. It's that old animation style that brings you back to when you were young, and the animals are cute and cool, and the boy can drum, so what else can I say? Number 17, we have Jack Frost. Michael Keaton as a snowman. How can that go wrong? He's beating up bullies. He's chucking snowballs. He's snowboarding. I mean, it's awesome and fun. So, there we have it. Probably coming out of left field for some of you with this one. But at number 16, we have Tom and Jerry, A Nutcracker Tale. This was like the only Tom and Jerry they would still show as I got older. And it's awesome. All the toys are amazing. The toy fight at the end, Tom and Jerry fighting back and forth with the cats and the toys. Can't go wrong. It's a great Christmas movie. 15 and up. This is where it gets really hard, and most of these could be switched, and I'd probably still be fine with it. But here at number 15, we have Jingle All the Way. This movie is awesome. You got Arnold Schwarzenegger. You've got the mailman, who is hilarious, in the bomb scene. One of my favorites. The guy trying to eat his cookies is amazing. And you have him fighting over the toy the entire time, which is essential for a Christmas movie. And you even get to find out who Anakin's dad is, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, amazing movie at number 15. If I haven't already made you mad, this is probably where it's going to happen. At number 14, we have Polar Express. Now, this movie has some great parts. The caribou scenes where the train has to go around them and stuff is awesome. The hot chocolate song is a classic, and many other different things are great about this movie. But I watched it a million times when I was younger. It did start to get old, and it gave me a big fear of not having my ticket if I was on any kind of public transportation and being left by it at all times, along with me not really understanding this whole believing is seeing, seeing is believing thing. I don't know, that always confused me and kind of brought me out of it, so that's why we have it here. Between these next two is very tough, but at number 13 we have Santa Claus is Coming to Town. The whole Santa Claus being like Robin Hood thing is really awesome, and being hunted by the town leader and then ending up turning him over with toys. And then the Ice King also, his whole one foot in front of the other song is amazing. And just having a whole happy ending with Kris Kringle finding Mrs. Claus is really awesome. Now, just above that, we have at number 12, The Year Without Santa Claus. Now, this one is really cool with trying to get Santa back in action, getting the kids to believe again. And it really beats out the other one because the Heat Miser and Cold Miser songs are probably some of the best. And I always loved them and would repeat them as a kid. Okay, fine. I was also repeating them as I was making this. They're really good. What can I say? Now, just outside of the top 10, we have A Christmas Carol, 1984. This one kind of encompasses all of the different Christmas carols, but mainly this one was my favorite. And I know I took out A Nightmare Before Christmas because I said it was too creepy and weird, but this one was creepy and weird in a good way. Now, this one was like one of the first movies that really scared me as a kid because the ghost of Christmas Present, when he opens the robe and the kids are underneath, is absolutely scary as a young 8-year-old or even younger. And Jacob Marley is really scary. The whole thing is just really awesome, scary vibe. And I loved getting scared by it at first and kind of awakened my love for horror movies. And also, once I finally got used to it, watching my younger cousins react was the best. And overall, it's just a good movie of Scrooge. At big number 10, here we have Frosty the Snowman. Now, this doesn't just fully encompass the one Frosty the Snowman movie, but kind of all of them. There was a bunch of them that I used to watch as a kid, and they're probably some of the ones that I rewatched the most, even outside of like Christmas time. And it's awesome. I mean, a snowman that comes to life with a magic hat and travels along. I love the one where they take him on a train up north to keep him somewhere cold during the summer because he was starting to melt. And for the 2 times it actually snowed in Georgia when I was a kid, it made me build a snowman that looked like Frosty and hope that it would come to life like him. So any movie that can make me do that is a win in my book. And if you guys remember the one where they built the giant like snow castle that Frosty lived in and all the kids played in, that was always awesome too. Starting off single digits right, we have A Charlie Brown Christmas. I mean, you can't go wrong with Snoopy. I always loved the Peanuts comics as a kid. Charlie Brown, Linus, all of them, and the whole Christmas play is awesome. He plays the guy that plays the piano does it really well, and the small little Christmas tree that they turn into a really cool looking one was always my dream to grab one of those little tiny little twig trees and turn it into something like that. And I always enjoyed it. Number 8 brings us National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I mean, what can you say about this movie? It's hilarious all around. You got the crap and bricks line. You got the cousins in the RV are hilarious. The cat electrocution, the tree getting knocked over multiple times. All the family, him overdoing it with the lights. And the Christmas bonus and kidnapping the boss and everything was hilarious. It's a great movie. Not exactly for kids, but a hilarious Christmas movie nonetheless. This is where it really got hard for me. But at number 7, we have Home Alone 1. This is a must-watch every year during the Christmas season, but it can be watched anytime during the year because it's just such a great movie. It has Harry and Marv, which are some of the greatest villains in a Christmas movie. And you have all the hilarious pranks of shooting him in the face, the nail on the stairs, the iron coming down, slipping down the stairs, grabbing the handle. It's nice and classic and simple, and the tarantula. The tarantula is awesome, as well as everything in Buzz's room is just hilarious. And you can't go wrong with this movie. It's an awesome movie, and it's at number 7. At number 6, we have The Santa Claus. Tim Allen is great as Santa Claus, and watching him transition from a normal person over to Santa Claus is always awesome to watch. Checking the list and all of the stuff of transitioning over there. Bernard's a win, so's Neil, and the reindeer, and the elf squad is probably my favorite part when they break him out of prison. All of that is awesome to watch, and that's why it's right here. We made it to the top 5, starting with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Rudolph, and this movie specifically, is hard to beat when it comes to animated Christmas movies. Everything about this movie is pretty much awesome, but Yukon Cornelius specifically is awesome with his silver and gold and silver. Always looking for that, and his chemistry with the Bumble is unmatched. The Bumble is the abominable snowman, for those people not in the know, and their fight and rivalry is awesome, and how he ends up taming him in the end. The Island of Misfit Toys is great, along with Hermie, the elf that wants to be the dentist, is hilarious. The Misfit song is awesome, and probably the best part of the movie is the head elf and his famous line of, "Why weren't you at elf practice?" is seared into my brain, even though I know I did it no justice there, but I tried. At number 4, we have Santa Claus 2. Now, the difference between 1 and 2 kind of comes down to personal preference, but I believe 2 is better because it had a bigger budget, which is obviously probably because 1 did so well. But you get to see a lot more of the North Pole and the elves really happening, and I love all the elves, especially Bernard and Curtis. And you get to see Santa as a toy, basically like robot Santa, which is hilarious, especially with the butt jokes, and just having him have the toy army take over, leading to an awesome toy soldier elf fight, is awesome to watch. Along with probably my favorite part is watching Santa Claus try to date. I think that's an awesome concept, and I love the Mrs. Claus that they end up choosing. She is an awesome as well and makes the movie even better. Number 3 on the list, we have Home Alone 2. It is very similar to the differences between Santa Claus 1 and 2 in that the second one had a bigger budget than the first, most likely, and had much more characters and sets because of that. Home Alone 2 is similar to number 1 in that you can watch it any time of the year as well. It has many of the same things, such as all the different traps in the houses with the exploding toilet and Marv's giant tower that he built. That's probably my favorite. Him getting electrocuted, throwing the bricks, and the mechanical bench coming down the stairs are all really all traps in this one, as well as all of the different things in the hotel. I think is what sets it apart from the first, because everybody in the hotel staff that interacts with them are hilarious. I love the main guy and the guy who gives the tip of the gum to, and making them all get down on their knees, and Cliff and everybody is all great, and the hotel people are really what make this one outshine the first, even if it's just slightly. I believe it is better than Home Alone 1. I know everybody still watching knows what number 1 and 2 are, but which one's second? Obviously, Elf. Elf is second. I mean, you can't go wrong with Will Ferrell, and him playing an elf is perfect. He's made for the role. I mean, all the elves bullying him is perfect. Papa Elf is hilarious, especially when he sits in his lap and such. Buddy's human family is hilarious. His dad is awesome. His brother is awesome. The mom's hilarious. I mean, he eats all the candy and everything. It's great. Then you add him going to work, where he works in the mailroom. The mailroom is amazing. Him trying coffee is awesome, bothering his dad, and especially the angry elf that comes and beats him up. That is hilarious. You add him destroying everybody in an epic snowball fight, and it's amazing. Obviously, number 2 on our list. And finally, at number 1, of course, we have How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It doesn't get any better than this in a Christmas movie. And I'm obviously talking about the non-animated one with Jim Carrey, because it is clearly the best. The more animated it gets, the worse it is. The middle animation one is pretty good, but not as good. And the really animated one, most recent one, is even worse. Really, those are just worse versions of this one. So, obviously, if you're going to pick one, watch this one. There's so many amazing parts. You got him shaking the mistletoe in front of his butt. You have all of the holiday cheermeister things, which just get even better and better. You have Max talking to him. He's hilarious. You have the mailroom sorting scenes and everybody shopping and fighting for presents. You have them celebrating, maxing out credit cards. Then you have probably my favorite part is the light competition between the ladies. That's awesome. It's always cool to see just how crazy you can go with Christmas lights. And probably the best part of the movie, honestly, is the Grinch talking to himself, because his conversations with himself just keep getting better and better and are really what the whole thing is about. That's why the Grinch sits at number 1 on our list.